कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय, कृष्ण कीर्तन गान नर्तन परो, प्रेमामृताम्बो निधि, धीरा धीर जना प्रियो प्रियकरो, निर्मत्सरौ पूजितौ, श्री चैतन्य कृपाभरौ भुवि भुवो, भारावहन्तारकौ, वन्दे रूप सनातनौ रघुयुगौ, श्रीदेवगोपालकौ, नानाशास्त्रविचारणैकनिपुणौ, सधर्म संस्थापकौ, लोकानां हितकारिणौ त्रिभुवने, मान्यौ शरण्याकरौ, राधा कृष्ण पदारविन्द भजना, नन्देन मट्टालिकौ, वन्दे रूप सनातनौ रघुयुगौ, श्रीजीव गोपालकौ, श्रीगौरङ्गगुणानुवर्णनविधौ, श्रद्धा समृद्ध्यन्वितौ, तापोतापनिकृन्तनौ तनुभृतां, गोविन्द गानामृतै, आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धनैकनिपुणौ, कैवल्य निस्तारकौ, वन्दे रूप सनातनौ रघुयुगौ, श्रीजीव गोपालकौ, चत्वातूर्णमशेषमण्डलपदी, श्रेणीं सदा तोच्छवात्, भूत्वा दीनगणेशकौ करुणया, कौपीनकन्ताश्रितौ, गोपी भावरसामृताब्धिलहरी, कल्लोल मग्नौ मुहुर्, वन्दे रूप सनातनौ रघुयुगौ, श्रीजीव गोपालकौ, पूजत् कोकिलहंससा रसगणा, तीर्णे मयूराकुले, नानारत्ननिबद्धमूलविटपा, श्रीयोक्ता वृन्दावने, राधा कृष्णमहर्निशं प्रभजतौ, जीवार्तधौ यौ मुधा, वन्दे रूप सनातनौ रघुयुगौ, श्रीजीव गोपालकौ, संख्यापूर्वक नाम गाननतिभिः, कालावसानीकृतौ, निद्राहारविहारकादिविजितौ, चात्यन्तहीनौ च यौ, राधा कृष्ण गुणस्मृते मधुरिमा नन्देन सम्मोहितौ वन्दे रूपसनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ राधाकुण्डतटे कलिन्दतनया तीरे च वंशीवटे प्रेमोन्मादवशादशेषदशया ग्रस्तौ प्रमत्तौ सदा गायन्तौ च कदा हरेर्गुणवरम् भावाभिभूतौ मुधा वन्दे रूपसनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ हे राधे व्रजदेविके च ललिते हे नन्दासूनु पुटः श्रीगोवर्धनकल्पपादपतले कालिन्दी वने पुटः गोशान्ताविति सर्वतो व्रजपुरे हे धैर्महाविबलौ वन्दे रूपसनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ वन्दे रूपसनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ वन्दे रूपसनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ वन्दे रूपसनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ। श्री शुद्ध गोस्वामी अष्टकम की जय, श्री रूप गोस्वामी की जय, नेक्टर ऑफ डिवोशन की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. Hare Krishna. So we thank all of you for joining in for the nectar of devotion session today. Yesterday we discussed about the offenses to the deities. What are the seva aparad? When we visit the temple, when we go to the temple, what are the things to do, not to do in the temple, right? We saw that. Today, Her Grace Sugopi Mataji is going to take us through what are the offenses to the holy name that we need to avoid. Nam aparad. Because when we do Nam aparada, we go away from Radharani. So if you want to get the mercy of Radharani, we need to pay good attention to what Mataji is going to tell us, because we want to chant Shuddha Nam and we want to attain Krishna Prem, right? So I request all the devotees to kindly be on mute when if you are not participating, and whenever you want to read or participate in the class, you may raise your hand and Sugopi Mataji will call us and then we can participate. Hare Krishna. With this, we invite Sugopi Mataji by loudly chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Mataji, over to you. Dandavat pranams.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you for that beautiful meditative bhajan that you sang and for setting the mood for our class today. Thank you so much. Okay, so we will share, I think, the content. One second. Okay, Mataji, will you be able to share that, please? Okay, I can do that, right? Okay. Wait, just a minute.
I can share, Mataji, if you make me the host. If you give me this.
Yeah, I think someone will have to share because I'm not getting that.
Mataji, I can share if you allow me.
Okay, Mataji, you're on mute. Mataji, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. So, Rohini Mataji, you can share. You already have this rights to share the screen. Are you able to share? Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mataji. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनीति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणम्। Hare Krishna. Okay, so the topic that we are going to be discussing today is again a very deep and very exalted topic. It's about the chanting of the holy names, and to be specific, the offenses against the chanting of the holy names. And it's completely beyond my capacity. But I'm just trying to serve, and whatever I've heard, I'm just trying to, I will try to put that across, what I've heard and what I have read. Kindly forgive me for any offenses or mistakes that I may commit during the course of this session. Okay, so we will start. What is the goal of chanting? We chant every day. We are supposed to chant a minimum of 16 rounds. So we all know that the goal of chanting is to attain Krishna Prem. That is the fruit. Now it is very important that we understand the offenses and how to avoid them. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult for us to attain this goal. So it is said in the scriptures that Kali Kale Nam Rupe Krishna Avatar. Nam Haite Haya Sarva Jagat Nistar. So simply by chanting the holy name, the whole world can be delivered. And Krishna has incarnated in the holy name. So that is really very beautiful. Kali Kale Nam Rupe Krishna Avatara Namahaite Haya Sarva Jagatanistara. And in this age, actually, there is no other religious principle other than chanting the holy name of the Lord. And that is the essence of all Vedic hymns. That's why it said, Nama bina kali kale nahi ar dharma. And sarva mantra sar nam ei shastra marma. So this is very important for all of us to note that sarva mantra saranam, whatever mantras or whatever vidhi or whatever is there in the Vedas, the essence of everything is basically nam. A shastra marma, this is the essence and this is the purport or the hidden essence of everything that is given in the Vedas. Okay, the first offense that we are going to be dealing with today is like the blaspheming the devotees who have dedicated their lives for the propagation of the holy name of the Lord. I would just read some quotations that are there in this one is from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela 8.24. So Krishna Nama Kare Aparadhera Vichar, Krishna Balile Aparadhera Na Haya Vikar. So there are offenses to be considered while chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Therefore, simply by chanting Hare Krishna, one does not become ecstatic. Then there is another one that says that offenses block the appearance of prema. Bahu janma kare yadi shravana kirtana, tabu tanapaya Krishna pade premadhana. Just give me 1 minute. Hare Krishna. Okay. Am I audible?
Yes,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna, am I? Okay.
Mataji. Now,
So it is possible that we may be chanting for not just one lifetime, but millions of lifetimes. Bahu janma kare yadi shravana kirtana. So many millions of lifetimes we may be chanting, but still, tanapaya Krishna pade premadhana. It's possible that we may not attain Krishna prem. So what is aparadha? Aparadha means apagata radha yasmat iti aparadha. So this is like anything, any act or any emotion that is going to hinder or block the flow of love. That is Krishna prem. That is aparadha. So the first offense is it's like a very serious offense that can completely, it's also called the mad elephant offense. It can completely block our progress on the path of Krishna prem, which is blaspheming the devotees or the Vaishnavas. Okay, so the general understanding is like the devotees of the Lord, like what we get from the first offenses, the pure devotees of the Lord, because these devotees are those devotees who have actually dedicated their entire life for the propagation of the holy name. But Prabhupada also says that it is not just the pure devotees, but any devotee. That point Prabhupada makes clear in his lectures. It's not that this is the flip side of it, just because if we are senior and we consider some other devotee junior and we think that we have a right to offend him, so that is also, that's another side of it. So it's the same, like Prabhupada says, it's not that just the pure devotees or my guru, it's any devotee. Okay, so in a conversation between Markandeya and Bhagirath Muni, it is said that, my dear king, one who derides an exalted devotee loses the results of his pious activities, his opulence, his reputation, and his sons. Vaishnavas are all great souls. Whoever blasphemes them falls down to hell, known as Maharorav, accompanied by his forefathers. And whoever kills or blasphemes a Vaishnav, and whoever is envious of a Vaishnav or angry with him, or whoever does not offer him obeisances or feel joy upon seeing him, certainly falls into a hellish condition. Okay, so now naturally, why we would think like, why do we commit Vaishnava Aparadha in the first place? So what exactly is the origin of this offense? So the origin of this offense, we can have a superiority complex or we can have an inferiority complex. If we have a superiority complex, we may just think that, I'm the best. And what I know is the last word, in jnana. So that is the kind of mentality that will foster, Vaishnava Aparadha. And then we have inferiority complex. When you know that there are some devotees who are progressing and who are strong in their spiritual life, and out of your own fears and insecurities, so basically, it's just that to highlight our own position, we pull down someone else's position. So that is another side of it. Like we want to be in the controllership position or we want to be in the bossy position. Now we can understand this with the help of an example. If we take the case of Dhruva and Duryodhan. Now both these personalities, they had a very strong material desire to attain kingdom, and they had a lot of anger also, krodha. But there is a hell lot of a difference between the mentalities of both these personalities. Now Duryodhan, he actually wanted to wipe out the Pandavas once and for all. So this is like you want to destroy others and then you want to come into the limelight because you demean them or you belittle them. So then you come into limelight. And Dhruva, instead of giving in to the destructive negative emotions towards his stepmother or stepfather, he actually chose the path of self progress, tapasya, to attain the supreme personality of Godhead. So this is like he worked for it to attain basically his material desires also. So he worked to attain his material desires. He worked hard on himself to attain his material desires. So that sort of a mentality is there, like when it's a controllership and bossy mentality, and that is the reason why we fall into the trap of committing this Vaishnava Prad. So blaspheming the devotees, there are I want to read this, that one who what all does it include? One who kills a devotee, one who blasphemes devotees, one who is envious of devotees, one who fails to offer obeisances, one who becomes angry with a Vaishnava, and one who is not joyful upon seeing a Vaishnava. Okay. So there is another case. Sometimes we may see that devotees may fall down. Now, why does this happen? It happens because of sin. Of course, they do something wrong because of which they may fall down. But this can be accidental or it can be intentional. Actually, whenever we commit something wrong, in one sense, it is intentional. But then accidental comes under the category that we lose control of ourselves because the modes are so strong. We don't want to do it, but still, we end up doing something which we are not supposed to do. So under this sway of emotions, there's some, it may be difficult to handle humiliation or anger, and because of these individual weaknesses, it is possible that we become prey to um, uh, the modes, and then we may have a fall down. So that is why, but Krishna over here, he says in Bhagavad Gita that you don't have to worry if this is the case. He says, api chet suduracharo bhajate mam ananya bhag sadhurev samantavya samyak vyavasito hi saha. So even the most abominable of sins, even this is the category that Krishna is highlighting, that even if you have committed the most abominable of sins, there is no problem, because every sinner has a future. So it is very important that we don't judge. We are in the movement for a couple of years, and we have read and we have heard and we have chanted. So that doesn't mean that we have the power to judge. That is something that we should completely refrain ourselves from. So there have been cases and devotees in our movement, um, they had massive fall downs, but again they came back very strong. So Krishna is making that point very clear over here, that when I am willing to forgive and forget, so you are no one to judge, because kshipram bhavati dharmatma shashva shantim nigacchati kaunteya pratijanihi na me bhaktah pranashyati. So it's just a matter of time that this devotee will again come on track, and again it's he's going to be qualified to be one of my pure devotees. So when we are dealing with Vaishnavas, it is very important that we have thoughtful interactions. Like prevention is better than cure, that's what it's said. So a Vaishnava is one who knows who is who and what is what. In Bhagavad Gita, like we have this shloka, what is that? Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini Shuni Chaiva Shwapake Cha Panditaha Samadarshina. Yeah, so Gyanis are on this platform, Panditaha Samadarshina. So all souls are on the same platform. They are on the equal level, and we are all spirit souls. So that is one level of how you see people. But Vaishnava understanding is even higher than this. So Vaishnava takes into account various gradations of living beings. Like there are various gradations of devotees also. You have Kanishta Adhikari, you have Madhyam Adhikari, and you have Uttam Adhikari. And a Vaishnava knows how to behave and interact with each one accordingly. Like, for example, if you meet a senior devotee, so you ask questions that are pertinent and which can enhance your realizations and which will help you to move forward in your spiritual life. And if we see some Vaishnav qualities in a devotee, in a senior devotee, we can ask how we can take guidance how to cultivate those Vaishnav qualities. And when you meet your equals, then you can share your realizations, you can inspire each other, ask them what they have read, you can share what you have read, what you have heard. And then you have the case of juniors. For juniors, we can set an example for them, and we can encourage them in their spiritual life. We can ask them about their progress in spiritual life. Now, just an example, like when we meet a senior, so we don't say, अच्छा ठीक है, आपकी भक्ति कैसे चल रही है? This is not how we interact with a senior. Okay, so there's a difference. But when we are interacting with a junior, we can ask, okay, how is it going? So this is very important. So a Vaishnava knows who's who and what is what. So that's why Bhakti Vinod Thakur is saying, Sakale sammana korite shakati deho natha yatha yatha. Tabe to gaibo hari nama sukhe aparadha habehata. And suppose if we commit, what is the solution for this? If we commit Vaishnava aparadh, if we feel that we have committed Vaishnava aparadh, so we should, genuinely, we should beg for forgiveness. We should go to that Vaishnava, and whoever we have offended, we think we have offended, or we feel we have offended, we should go and beg their forgiveness. So that is one way. Okay, now we'll move on to the second one, which is consider the names of demigods like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva to be equal to or independent of the names of Lord Vishnu. So this is like very common in India, but not so common among devotees. We don't have too much of a problem over here, because after spending some years in Krishna consciousness, we know what is the position of demigods and we know what is the position of Krishna. So, but in India, we have, it's got a very polytheistic background, and we have a belief in multiple gods. So why is this? Because we have had a Vedic civilization, and this kind of a mentality is coming from, it's like a natural consequence that comes from a heavy karma kandi background. Yeah. So people worship demigods because they want material fruits. So there are, various departments, and demigods are in charge of various departments, like Indra, rain. And if you want a good wife, you approach Mother Parvati. If you want a good husband, you pray to Lord Shiva. And then if you want money, you pray to Lakshmi Devi. Like on Diwali, it's the custom, there's Lakshmi Pujan. But we don't realize that without Narayan, Lakshmi is not going to stay anywhere. She doesn't go anywhere without Narayan. So that is the mistake that we have. It's there in India. On Diwali, we do Lakshmi Pujan. So demigods, they can award material benedictions, but Krishna, he is the supplier and maintainer of the demigods also. Like he says in Bhagavad Gita, Aham adirhi devanam maharshinam cha sarvashah. And then Ekala Ishwara Krishna Arasabhabhritya. So it's very clear that Krishna is actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the others are his servant. So what is at the root of this offense when we are talking about the worship of demigods? So this is basically the materialistic mentality that attracts one to demigod worship, because this is a material world, and in this material world everyone is after name, fame, opulence, sense gratification. And Krishna, he's standing in his Tribhanga Lalita form, and he's playing the flute, and he is talking about our lost relationship with him and our lost love. And this is something which we fail to understand. Very difficult for a materialistic person to understand what the Supreme Personality of Godhead is offering to us. That's why, and why this is so, bhog aishwarya prasaktanam taya apahrita chetasam vyavasayatmika buddhi samadhau na vidhyate. So for people who are too much attached to sense enjoyment and opulence, the strong determination towards devotional service does not take place. So we actually have to have this fixed pointed goal. Unless and until we have ekeh in our life, it is very difficult for us to, this vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kurunandana. So this intelligence, when it is many branched, so it is going to pull us in so many different directions, so many different material desires. And for fulfillment of those material desires, we are going to approach the demigods. Okay, now, so there is a question that arises that devotees also need material necessities for survival in this material world, because they also need money and a decent living. So Krishna is saying that you don't have to worry about that, because I'm going to supply you with whatever you lack, and whatever you have, I'm going to protect that. So he says, Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhyuktanam yogakshemam vahamiham. And even if it's like a step higher, even if we are filled with material desires and we have so many ambitions, and if we want to make it big in this material world, and we want name, fame, money, opulence, and all those things, still it is not needed for us to go to the demigods. In the Bhagavatam, there is a shloka, Akama sarva kamo va moksha kama udhariti tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusha param. So through bhakti, we can actually please the Supreme Personality of Godhead through tivrena bhakti. And it doesn't matter whether we are akam. Akam means we don't have any material desires. Sarva kam, that means we are filled with material desires. Or, we want liberation once and for all. We want to, pack up everything and go away from this material world and say the goodbye to the problems once and for all. So whatever may be the situation that we are in, it is not needed that for us to go to the demigods. We can straight away go to Krishna. Now, third offense. Okay, so this is to disobey the orders of the spiritual master. So many times in his purports, Prabhupada has made it very clear that the key to advancement in spiritual life is in pleasing the spiritual master. Yasya prasadat bhagavad prasado. So Harinam, if we see, it's like it's freely available. It's an open secret, it's freely available. We can find it in the books. We have kirtans. We hear it in the lectures. It's there in the books. But it's not so simple to connect with Harinam, because Guru is the person. He is the via medium. Unless and until we have surrendered to a bona fide spiritual master, there is this Naam is not going to reveal itself. That's why it said, no, sampradaya vihina ye nishphala mataha. So it is very important for us to have a connection with the Guru Parampara. And who is that person who will make this connection, our connection with the Guru Parampara? And that is Guru. So this is very important. And the other thing is that once we have taken shelter of a bona fide spiritual master, the instruction of the Guru is not ordinary, which is actually the instruction of Guru is the greatest asset of a disciple. And whenever a Guru is giving instruction, along with the instruction, he also gives the power, the strength and the mercy to execute that instruction. So there is a very nice pastime where Prabhupada's god brothers, they are discussing this shloka, prithivite achayad nagaradigram sarvatra prachar hoibe moranam. So they are discussing that how is it possible, in India, okay, it's understandable, but all over the world, there are mlechas and they are totally uncivilized, the way of the way they are living. So they said ki this is not possible, and they were discussing, and they said that how is it possible, Abhay Babu, do you know how it can be possible? What do you say about this? So Prabhupada said, yes, it is possible, but it's not going to be possible by any of you, because you don't have that faith in the spiritual master. So Guru is transcendental, his position is transcendental, and so are his instructions. So why exactly do we disobey the orders of the spiritual master, because there is this mentality that, because we have a mundane consciousness, we have a material consciousness, so it is not very easy for us to understand that guru's position is transcendental, and we should not speculate over here, because we see guru is, he is also doing the same things that we are doing, like walking, talking, eating, and all these things, and we feel that he's just another normal person, but there is a big difference. And lots of there are lots of other ways also. When we are hearing the lecture, there's this mentality, he could have explained this point in a better way, or when a guru is giving an instruction, we may have some confusions, and we may think that, okay, this is not practical, maybe my guru maharaj, he doesn't know what is the ground reality. So these are some doubts that we may have. So it's okay to have doubts, but it is not okay to live with the doubts. So it is very important to clarify. We can have a talk with the spiritual master, we can explain him, this is what I'm thinking, and this is what I feel about it. So if it's possible that your guru maharaj may give you sanction, and he may say that, okay, yeah, maybe yes, you can go ahead with that. So doubts can be clarified, but we have to understand that the position of guru is purely transcendental, and we don't have to speculate over here. We have to be careful, because what is the Lord's mercy for a disciple? The Lord's mercy is basically um, guru, that the personification of the Lord's mercy is guru. Guru is, like we say, no, Krishna Kripa Murti. Yeah, so that he is the embodiment of mercy for the disciple. So and it is also said, Hari sthane aparadhe tare hari naam, and Toma sthane aparadhe nahi paritran. So if we commit offense towards the lotus feet of Krishna, or the Krishna, that's forgivable. Krishna can still forgive it. But if we are committing an offense towards the Vaishnavas or the dear devotees of the Lord, then there is no solution. Then Krishna also cannot forgive us over here. Okay, the fourth one is to blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. Okay, just wanted to know that I'm audible, right? Any issues with the volume or anything?
Yes,
No,
Mataji.
Mataji, you're audible.
Mataji.
Perfect, Mataji. Hare
Very
Krishna.
clear.
Okay, the fourth one is to blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. So Krishna has already declared in Bhagavad Gita that Vedescha sarver aham ev vedyo. So in all the Vedas, actually, I am to be known. So this has been very clear. And Prabhupada is like, sometimes in school, or whenever we are supposed to give an exam, and we have a huge syllabus, and if the teacher is merciful, she can reduce that syllabus for us, and she can give us the portions, the important portions, that you study this and you will get your marks. So that's what Prabhupada has done for all of us. So he has given us the relevant portions of the Vedas, the essence of the Vedas. We have Bhagavad Gita, we have all the Bhakti Shastras, we have Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita. And then there are other books, that is scriptures in pursuance of the Vedic version. All of that, they help us to advance in spiritual life. So that's why it is very important. Shastra is very, very important. And there's this, you have Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. We have this check and balance system. So Shastra plays a very, very integral part. Why? Because Shastra is theory. So if you have to be good at anything, so you have a theory and you have a practical. So Shastra is the theory, and then you have the practical. We have the sadhus and we have guru. So whatever doubts we have in Shastra, we can approach the sadhus, we can approach the spiritual master, and get them cleared. We have parents So similarly, we have spiritual master and the Vedas at the time of initiation. That's our second birth. So Shastra is extremely important from the point of view of devotional life for devotees, and also that makes our movement very authentic and very scholarly also, because there are times we are going to be dealing with a lot of atheistic and agnostic people also, who would demand proof in the existence of God and stuff like that. So we have bona fide scriptures, to get them to spiritual life. It's very important. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is very clearly declaring that aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate ekala ishvara krishna arsapabhritya. So all that proof and everything we can give. Our movement is not something that is coming out whimsically. It is grounded in scriptures. So if we are have this kind of mentality that we are speaking ill about the Vedic scriptures, or scriptures that are in pursuance of the Vedic version, then this is a serious namaprad. Okay, the fifth one is to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. So there are many beautiful verses that glorify the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. So I think we can just and I'll just read. I have a couple of verses over here. I will read the meanings. Okay, one is Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Iv Kevalam Kalau Nasti, Iv Nasti, Iv Nasti, Iv Gatir Anyatha. So for spiritual progress in this age of Kali, there is no alternative, no alternative, no alternative to the holy name, the holy name, the holy name of the Lord. 3 times it is said to emphasize. Kalera dosha nidhe rajam asti hi eko mahan gunah kirtanadeva krishnasya mukta sangah param vrajet. So in this age of Kali, there are many faults for people are subjected to many miserable conditions, yet in this age there is one great benediction. Simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, one can be freed from all material contamination and thus be elevated to the spiritual world. And in the Kali Santaran Upanishad also very clearly it has been mentioned, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Iti Shorishakam Nam Kali Kalmash Nashanam Nataha Parataro Upaya Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate. That after searching through all the Vedic literature, one cannot find a method of religion more sublime for this age than chanting the holy name of the Lord. So there are many verses like this. And for us to understand or the glories of the holy name, it is important to follow the principles of Vedi Bhakti very nicely. It's very important for us to be grounded in the program that has been given to us by Srila Prabhupada of hearing, reading and chanting for proper purification. And then these glories, they will manifest in our heart as we are progressing. Okay, the sixth one is to give some interpretations to the holy name of the Lord. Okay, yeah. So this Allen Ginsberg, he made a comment once, and that by constant chanting of the holy name of the Lord, there is a lot of oxygen that gets produced in your body, and because of which you feel ecstasy. So this is a complete concoction and a complete speculation. So all these kind of interpretations, firstly we have to understand that we are not on the level, on that elevated level, and we are not purified enough that we can give interpretations to the holy name of the Lord. So whatever we are explaining about the holy name is only that which we have heard or which we have read, and nothing apart from that. Even there was a girl who once told Prabhupada, whenever I chant, so there is a red light that appears in my brain. So Prabhupada said, you continue chanting and it's going to disappear. So this is we have to be very careful. This is a very advanced subject, and we should not put our concocted ideas over here unless and until we are on that level. Well, pure devotees, of course, can give their interpretation. Why? Because their understanding is completely in line with Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. So we should refrain from doing this. Okay. Seventh one is to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord. Now, this is another serious offense. Prabhupada also says it's a very serious offense, that actually the holy name has the power to wipe out all the horrible reactions of sins that we may have committed, not just in one lifetime, but millions and millions of lifetimes. But we shouldn't abuse it. We shouldn't use this holy name as a machine that can nullify our sinful reactions. So in Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya also, there is there's a devotee who has written Harinam Kaumudi, I think Lakshmidhar. Yeah. So there he says that if we are chanting, if we chant, and the holy name can destroy our sins. Again, if we commit sins, and again if we chant, the holy name will destroy our sins. Again, if we commit, again if we chant and then we commit sins, again the holy name is going to destroy all our sins. But it can destroy our sins, but we will get Nam Aparad. And Nam Aparad is far more serious. The consequences of Nam Aparad are far more serious than just plain sinful reactions. Because Nam Aparad, actually Shuddha Nam, or let's say chanting of the holy names of the Lord can finish off our existence in this material world once and for all. It can award us Krishna Prem. But if we are committing Nam Aparad, then it may take us millions and millions of lifetimes. So the entire program of our escaping from this material world and to be established in the eternal loving service of Shri Radha and Krishna, it can be delayed by not just 1 or 2 years, but millions of lifetimes. So we have to be very careful that we don't take advantage of the holy name over here. We find this in the case of Jagai Madhai also, when Mahaprabhu delivered them, actually through the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. So Jagai and Madhai, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that now no more sins. He made that point clear. Now you shouldn't commit any more sins. So holy name is actually our only hope, and we have to understand how to approach the holy name. So there's a difference actually. We can be inattentive, but we shouldn't be insincere. So inattentive means not that we can be inattentive, so we should be inattentive, not like that. But under the influence of modes, it's possible that we are trying to pay attention to the holy name. We are trying to hear the holy name, but it's possible that we are, because of our conditionings and the modes are so strong, so we are not able to. But then we shouldn't be insincere. Like there's a very nice quote. I'll just read that. Yeah, Prabhupada says, to commit sins with the notion that one can nullify their reactions by chanting the holy name is the worst of offenses. The sinful person who thinks he can get away with sinful life by chanting the holy name is entirely different from the person who commits sins, regrets them, and finally becomes saintly in his behavior. So this is the shloka, that is apichet suduracharo. So we have to understand that a person may commit a sin, he should regret it, and then finally become saintly in his behavior. So our chanting shouldn't be like an elephant bath. The elephant, he takes so much time to take a bath, and then when he comes out, he throws mud all over. So this is not how we are supposed to approach the holy name. So we should sit and contemplate wherever we have this duplicitous kind of a behavior, and we shouldn't use chanting to cover up anything wrong that we are doing, or to continue whatever wrong that we want to do, just thinking that there is a solution. Now I have the holy name and I can use it. Okay. So the 8th one is to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities. So this is linked to the second one. This is Karma Kanda. Okay. So the purpose of chanting is actually to be engaged in the loving service of the Lord, of loving service of Krishna. Now, Vedic literatures, they are very vast. And if you do a superficial study of the Vedic literatures, which is Karma Kanda, it's going to take us to the fruits of sense gratification or material pleasures, name, fame, opulence, and all of that. And if we go into a deeper study of these Vedic literatures, then we may go up to the point of liberation, and even deeper we can go to the point of eternal loving service to Krishna. So Madhvacharya, actually, he gives an example of a mango orchard. So the karmis are like when they approach a mango orchard, so they are attracted by the sweet smell of the fruit. They are attracted by the sweet smell of the fruits and the flowers, like how it is said in that shloka. What is that shloka? Yam imam pushpitam vajam. Yeah. So, and the Gyanis, they are attracted by the raw fruit, the wrong mangoes. And the Bhaktas, they are attracted by the ripened fruit, the ripened mango. So, which is this shloka? Anyone would like to share? The ripened fruit. It's there in Bhagavatam. Exactly.
Bhagavatam, Shukabukadam, Amrutadam.
Right.
You want me to try, Mataji? Hare Krishna.
Bhagavatam,
Yeah, you can narrate.
निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं सुखमुखामृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं पुरालयं रसमालयं मुहुरहोरसिका भावकाः भावकाः.
Hari bol. Thank you so much, Mataji. Yeah, that's the one. So this example is given by Madhvacharya, I believe. Yeah. And Prabhupada also gives the example of fishes. Like, there are fishes on the surface of the water, and the kingfisher, he can, catch those fishes for his food. But if we go deep inside the ocean, we are protected. So that's how the devotees, they go deep inside. They understand the essence of all the Vedic scriptures, which is to attain Krishna Prem. Okay. The ninth one is to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Okay. So here also, actually, we have to be careful. What this means over here is that we have to refrain from preaching to the envious people. Madhyam Adhikari, like it is said, that they show mercy to the ignorant and the innocent, and they keep their distance from the envious people or the blasphemers. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also comments that for a Madhyam Adhikari to keep his distance away from the blasphemers and not show his mercy to them is not a flaw. So this is a safety measure. But if we take the case of Uttam Adhikari, now an Uttam Adhikari is a really exalted Vaishnava who's on the level of pure devotional service, and his strength and his faith is too strong and very deep. So he can preach to such faithless people. Like Prabhupada also, in his movement, there were so many hippies and drug addicts. And he preached and he said that I have created your Sukriti. So at that level, an Uttam Adhikari can do this. But otherwise, generally, we should refrain from instructing envious people or preaching to envious people. There's another example, Lord Nityananda. Jagai and Madhai were such horrible sinners that if someone would take darshan of them, actually, so they would just, immediately they will go and take a bath in the Ganges. That, today we have, by taking darshan of Jagai and Madhai, we have become impure. But after they got the mercy of Nityananda, so the people used to, whenever they took darshan of Jagai Madhai, they would say, now there's no need to go and take a bath in the Ganges. There's this this bhajan also with this verse is there. I'm forgetting it. Which one? About Ganga only. Paschate Pavan. How does it start? Darshane Pavitra Koro Ei Tomara Gun. Yeah, Darshane Pavitra Koro Ei Tomara Gun. I'm forgetting how it starts. Yeah, okay. Okay, the 10th one. To not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. Okay, so that's the 10th offense. So, why is it that we don't have complete faith in chanting the holy names of the Lord? Well, that's because we don't understand the value of the holy names, and we don't understand the value of what we can get. Like, for example, you have fake currency notes, no? Like children have these games, Monopoly and business, they play. You have fake currency notes over there, and you have proper genuine currency. So we understand. So if there is like 1 crore rupee notes, which is cash worth rupees 1 crore, which is there. So how are we going to value it? And if we have fake currency, so that's of no use. So this is the reason we don't value it. So if we start valuing the holy name, that is again, if we are following the rules and regulations of Vedic Bhakti properly, we are hearing properly, we are reading properly the glories of the holy name. If we are hearing from the exalted Vaishnavas, our Guru and other sadhus, then we will have a proper conception of what exactly the holy name can offer. And then if we approach the holy name, so we will be able to forego our material attachments. Otherwise the material attachments are very, very, very strong. But again, it's not that we have to leave everything. So there's this shloka in Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is Markat Vairagya na kara loka dekhaya. Yatha yogya vishaya bhunja yatha yogya vishaya bhunja anasakta hoya. Yeah. So we can yatha yogya vishaya bhunja anasakta hoya. Yatha yogya means whatever is befitting, that sense gratification is allowed, or that enjoyment. Yatha yogya vishaya bhunja. Vishaya is the objects of sense gratification, and bhunja we can enjoy. Anasakta hoya. But the condition is that in a detached way. So we can have that little enjoyment that's there in our quota, but in a detached way. So this is the principle of yukta vairagya that Prabhupada also talks about often. Okay, yeah, with that we do come to an end of all the 10 offenses, and there's one more thing, which is like it's said that it is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting, and every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must carefully guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, that is Krishna Prem. So we have to be extremely attentive while chanting. Prabhupada writes in one of his, he speaks in one of his lectures, and that when we are hearing properly and we are chanting, so that is the state of samadhi. Prabhupada says this is called samadhi. So he says the mind is interlocked. You have engaged the mind in such a way that if you are just chanting and properly hearing, you can go into samadhi. So this is the proper absorption, and that we can cultivate just by hearing and chanting. We don't have to worry so much about where our mind is dragging us, but if we only focus on inattentive chanting, so that will that is, according to Prabhupada, it's like samadhi, complete absorption in the holy name of the Lord. Okay, yes, I think we have completed it, and now it is around 12:25. So what should we do? Shall we take the questions if someone has?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we thank Mataji for a very wonderful session, a very detailed session quoting from various scriptures on how important it is to avoid each one of those offenses. Thank you so much, Mataji. If devotees have any queries, you can raise your hand. Yeah, Padma Mataji, go ahead. Padma Mataji, you have a query?
Hare Krishna Mataji, that is pranam. Now, when we say that we should not associate non-devotees, now supposing a devotee is interested in coming to Krishna consciousness, he wants to learn, then can we associate with that person? She's showing willingness to
Okay,
come.
so your question is, I'll just repeat it. Although the ninth offense is that we should not instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name, but if someone is interested, right, Mataji?
Yes, yes, Mataji, because she is not a devotee. I took her to
Yeah.
the temple. Yeah, so she was very anxious. She said, I want to know more. So can we
Yeah.
associate slowly?
Yes, definitely. Definitely, Mataji, because the very fact that this person is interested, it shows that, you know, envious people or blasphemers, generally they are not going to be interested. So that is one
Yes.
clue. So you are not forcefully preaching to them. You know, when we are going out and when we have you know, people are coming to us and we are saying, you should chant, we should not immediately come on to the glories of the holy name, and not we should not give them the holy name in the first meeting. So that is
Yes.
very important. So we can start, we can see, we can check whether they are receptive or not. We can, tell them about the basic philosophy like janma mrityu jara vyadhi and all of that, dharmena hina pashubi samhana. So we can just check over there. If they're receptive, then we can go ahead. But the fact that someone is, asking and he's interested, then of course you can go ahead, because that interest already that person has shown.
Yes, Mataji, because she said she's chanting for Ganesha. But when I took her to the temple there, she bought the chanting bag. And she said,
Okay.
yeah. And then she said, can I take a mala also? I said, you stop
Hmm.
this chanting for Ganesha, then you can start with the neem mala first, if you are interested. So she said, I'll let you.
Okay. Yeah, that is also one way. But when new people are coming, generally, I have seen that instead of telling them the don'ts, you just tell them you continue with your chanting, and
Okay.
the other things automatically they will go away. If they're
Okay,
chanting some
Mataji.
other name or whatever, so
Yeah.
it'll automatically it'll go away, because
Yes,
they will get this higher taste, na. So they'll
yeah.
go away.
Yes,
And
Mataji. She said,
when they increase their rounds also, because I just want to share that there's this girl, I was preaching, so she was chanting, I don't know, 7 8 malas of so many different mantras, and her
yeah.
faith was so strong. And when she came to me, I was like, no, I I shouldn't tell her otherwise. And she was telling with so much of pride, I had this also and this also, I don't know, so many mantras were there, one for this demigod, one for that demigod. And it was very difficult for me to actually single out every each one of the mantras and tell her, no, this is not right, this is not right. I said, okay, so I told her, you start chanting 1 2 rounds, and I said, now you increase your round. Automatically it stopped. Why? Because time is limited, na? If they have to chant 8 rounds or 16 rounds, automatically those they will have to make a choice.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yes, that's
otherwise
a good
also you
idea.
get a higher taste. Yeah, otherwise also you get a higher taste.
Yeah,
So
that's a good
बाकी
idea,
काम
Mataji.
काम करा लेगा अपने आप.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna.
Mataji.
Hare
Can
Krishna
I
Mataji.
can I
Can I
ask the
ask?
question?
Okay, I think we'll take Virender Prabhu's question because he had raised his hand before. Okay, yes,
Okay.
Prabhuji.
My question is regarding the eighth offense. That is, if suppose I am a Madhyamadikari and I'm preaching to a person, but he's envious of the Krishna consciousness process. So in that process, can I become Uttam Adhikari? For example, Srila Prabhupada, he went to the West and he preached the Westerners, hippies, or we can somehow he preached the importance of Krishna consciousness to them, and they liked it. So in some cases, can Madhyam Adhikari become Uttam Adhikari in that case, in the preaching
Okay.
part?
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. That's a very nice question. So that is the goal that we should have. So Prabhupada also said, I don't know, there was this very nice I'm forgetting. I don't forget. I don't remember the specifics, but I'll just tell you the gist of it. So there was a devotee who was not able to attend Mangal Aarti, and Prabhupada once scolded him. He said, why were you not there? And he said that, Prabhupada, I am not well or something. He said, no, no, you should attend. So he said that I'm not a pure devotee. That is what he gave in his in his defense, sorry. So he said, I'm not a pure devotee. So Prabhupada said, why are you not a pure devotee? So actually our acharyas and Prabhupada and the whole Guru Parampara, actually they want that we should progress and we should become Uttamadhikaris. We should attain Krishna Prem. But that is an extremely high level, is that is almost on the level of bhava bhakti and Krishna Prem. It's over there, the Uttama Adhikaris. So it's going to take time, and uh, till the time, because see, we start from Adav Shraddha, and then Adav Shraddha, then we have Shraddha, then we have sadhu sang, then we have bhajan kriya. First is Adav Shraddha, we have with little komal Shraddha that we have, we approach the sadhus, and then the sadhus, they are going to tell us, and this is what you're supposed to do to advance in spiritual life. Then we start, after sadhu sang, then we have bhajan kriya. Bhajan kriya means according to the instructions of the sadhus, we start engaging in following the rules and regulations of the do's and the don'ts that they're giving us. Then there is anartha nivriti, and anartha nivriti is like it's like all those things that are unwanted for our devotional life, that our heart is, then after anartha nivriti we get nishtha. And this is when we are after anartha nivriti, when we are almost on the level of nishtha, that is the position of a madhyam adhikari. So madhyam adhikari's position is also not a very low position, it's a very high position, a madhyam adhikari. So from kanishta to madhyam, and from there, if you have to progress to uttam adhikari, so it is going to take a lot of purification, a lot of hard work. So yes, we should have these goals, but till the time we are there, and till the time, and how do we know whether we are on that level or not? So we have to be first under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. And uh, once we are under their guidance, then they will help us and we will monitor our progress. So it's like a long path. So yes. And when again, Prabhuji, if you would repeat the later part of your question, I just wanted to know that if
Okay,
you can become now.
okay. My question is like, most of us are Madhya Adhikaris, means we preach like to people Krishna consciousness, but
Yeah. So another thing, one more thing that I
yes,
would like to,
because we are not.
most of us, you'll find generally most of us are not Madhyama Adhikaris. Most of us are Kanishta Adhikaris. Actually, that is where we belong. A Madhyam Adhikari is also very, very rare. Very rare. I mean, you know what I mean. And Uttam Adhikari to is the rarest of the rare. So, Prabhupada.
Okay, means like our spiritual master is Madhyam Adhikari. We can say like Radhanath Maharaj, or means great personalities in ISKCON movement, and we can say Prabhupada is Uttam Adhikari. We can say their disciples.
No. This is a
Means
tricky
for
one.
example, sorry, means for example, I'm telling.
No, your the examples that you're taking here, they are all Uttam Adhikaris. Okay, they are Uttam Adhikaris. They are all pure devotees of the Lord, because they have given shelter to so many Kanishthas and fallen people. Forget about Kanishthas, so many fallen people. So only an Uttam Adhikari can actually give shelter. The very fact that they are giving shelter and they are spiritual masters, that means that they are Uttam Adhikari.
Okay.
You got.
Sorry, Mataji. Sorry for speaking. Okay.
Okay. So, so the first goal is that we have to come to the platform of Madhyam Adhikari. Now, that is the goal. Like Prabhupada also, he says that at least you should come to the platform of Madhyam Adhikari. And if we come to the platform of Madhyam Adhikari, our life is set. Surely we are, then we are going back home, back to God. Like Prabhupada also said, if you chant, okay, that's a different this thing. But Madhyam Adhikari, in and of itself, is a very high platform. But even then, a Madhyam Adhikari also refrains. So then we can, we can, what is our position as Kanishta Adhikaris? We should not just thoughtlessly go on with, a bead bag and books that, okay, whatever. Sorry, not books, but with the philosophy. bombarding it on people. First we have to see whether they are receptive or not, and then does that clear your doubt?
No, but you talked about the Kanishta Adhikari. I heard that Kanishta Adhikari only respects the deity and he doesn't respect the Vaishnavas who respect the deity. He just true to the faith with the deity he's worshipping. So that is Kanishta Adhikari. And Madhyamadikari defends his philosophy and tries to avoid the non-devotees. That is Madhyamadikari. So we are preaching Krishna consciousness and we are avoiding the non-devotees. So I spoke like that.
Okay, I got your point, but yeah, these points are not, it is not exactly as black and white as it is written. There are so many shades of gray also in this. And just because for example, I'll take my example. I may have some respect for devotees, okay, and I am not just because for the deities I am not differentiating between the devotees, so that doesn't mean that I am not a Kanishta Adhikari. So there are so many other things also. The purification of the heart, that's the most important thing. How pure are we? And how what is our nishtha level? And another most important thing is, are we stuck with our anarthas? Kam, krodh, lobh, mad, matsari, and all that thing. If we are stuck over there, then definitely we are not madhyamadhikari. So we have a long way to go. So it is not exactly as per the definition. Okay, we are trying to preach. Even a kanishta adhikari can actually preach. Amare agya hoye taro ei desh. So this is for everyone, right? Jara dekho tare kaho Krishna upadesh. So a kanishta adhikari can also preach, and by the instruction of his spiritual master. But that does not mean if the Kanishta Adhikari is preaching, so he has become a Madhyam Adhikari. So Madhyam Adhikari is a very high platform. And it's rare to find a Madhyam Adhikari. So does that clear your doubt now?
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Haribol, thank you very much. Very nice.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji, we shouldn't preach to people who don't believe. But actually, when we were not in Krishna consciousness, the Krishna conscious people came and told us about Krishna. So that only we came into Krishna conscious. Right, Mataji? So if any person who is not a devotee or who is not receptive, if nobody tells them, they will never be able to come into Krishna consciousness. Right, Mataji?
No, it's not that. Okay, they are not receptive, okay. It's not exactly like they may not be in a position to take it right now, but what the thing that is talked about over here is blasphemous. I don't know whether you have encountered any such people, but there are people, you just try to preach them and they will just pounce on you. So those are the people we are going to avoid over here. They will just not take it. Their anger will come out. I don't know, I can't remember, but I have encountered one or two such people. So if you try to give them these instructions, so the thing is why it is said like this, that why you should not preach, because the thing is you're a devotee, you go and preach to them, they will commit Vaishnava Aparadh and then they're gone. So better to give them time, So this is something that you learn through experience when you're preaching. So you will come to know whether they are receptive or not. It's not that we are holding back the name and see the glories of the holy name. Like in Bhagavad Gita also, you will not find anywhere Krishna is directly speaking about the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Does he speak about Hare Krishna Mahamantra? There is not one verse in Bhagavad Gita about Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He will speak Satatam Kirtayanto Mam, Yatantasya Dridhavata. He has given it over there. But who is giving the Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Who has given us the Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Guru is giving us the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and only when we are sincere we come to understand. So that part, the glories of the holy name part, or if we are meeting someone, we just don't say in the first meeting, "Ye lo bead bag lol pakad lo, aaj se shuru kar do chanting." That is what it means, that we have to refrain from that part. What we can do is, we can tell them the basic philosophy, like, see, this is the material world and there is janam mrityu jara vyadhi, and you can tell them all the different other shlokas of devi esha gunmayi mama maya duratyaya, all that philosophy you can tell them and see whether they are receptive or not. If they are receptive, they will come, they will ask. Okay, I have a comment here from Sindhu Mataji. It says that in Bhagavad Gita, yes Mataji, what is it?
No, Mataji, just mentioning that Hare Krishna. You are telling about the Mahamantra. Yes, Mataji, I read in one of the purports.
Yeah, it's there in the purport. That's Prabhupada's mercy. But Krishna has not Krishna has not. It's Prabhupada's mercy. You see, every place actually, Mayavadi, once he came and he was arguing with Prabhupada, he said, it's not mentioned, Krishna consciousness is, Krishna is not mentioned only in the verse, and still you're writing Krishna, 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 Krishna. But that is the special mercy of the of Prabhupada. This is basically, Bhagavad Gita has been written for the devotees. And why Prabhupada has given us, again and again, he's giving Hare Krishna Mahamantra, again and again, he's giving Krishna consciousness, because he's bringing us, he's giving us that focus, that we don't get deviated from the focus. That chanting is the
Yes,
essence.
Mataji, I have read in many purports. I'm just searching. Thank you, Mataji.
Krishna says in 10th chapter Bhagavad Gita, Yajnanam japa yogyosmi, that is chanting is the Yuga Dharma Kali. He says, but
yes.
but then like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu practically told us what is chanting. He gave us the Mahamantra, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave. But the thing is that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also, he is the Gupta Avtara. He is the confidential Avtara himself. So why is he Gupta Avtara? Because he is giving Premadhan. So when you have, even in Bhagavad Gita, we see the middle 6 chapters, they are talking of devotional service. So you have a covering of the first 6 chapters and the last 6 chapters. So that is nicely hidden. So Hare Krishna Mahamantra is, see, it's an open secret. It's there and it's not there also. So you have to tackle accordingly. So you hide the things just to protect others from committing an offense, and protect yourself also from committing an offense to the holy names. You just hide it suitably, and as and when it is needed, you gift it. Yeah. Okay.
Mataji, Mataji, one more question. One more question. So when we chant, sometimes we feel very good,
Pramila
Mataji.
had a question, right? We'll take one question each. Pramila Mataji,
yes.
you had a question.
Mataji. Yes, Mataji,
Yes,
can I ask?
Yes, please.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Mataji, I was just thinking, like, our children and grandchildren also, we tell them to say the Maha Mantra. Like, I mean, they're not non-believers, but slowly they want to do it also. So that is all right, no? Our own children and grandchildren.
Absolutely, Mataji. So Prabhupada once commented that children who have taken birth in devotee families, they are directly coming from Vaikuntha. So there has been some connection. That is why they are born in devotee families. So that's how we can also, bring about the connection over there.
Thank you,
So these, Prabhupada said that these children are not ordinary children. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So just reaching 12:45 p.m. We have a Kannada class. So Prashanti Mataji, from Monday onwards, we are starting our session at 11 o'clock. So we will have adequate time for question answers. So I request all the devotees kindly join us at 11 a.m. from Monday. We'll have our session from 11 to 12, and in case there are questions, then we can go up to 12:15. So like that, we'll have a dedicated 15 minutes question answer session. So thank you very much. Very wonderful session, and thank you all for your very interactive participation. Mancha kalpatarubhyascha, kripa sindhu bhyevacha, patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gurudev jai, Gopi Mataji ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
Thank you,
Hare Krishna,
Mataji.
Thank
Dandavat pranam
you,
Swami.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, for the class.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Wonderful class.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.